Welcome. This is the Langston Golf Podcast. What is up, everybody? It is Andrew Langston with the Langston Golf Podcast. This is episode number 1. That is right, number 1, the first of many, hopefully. What's up, everybody? Whoever's listening out there, hello. Super excited to get started with this, and trust me when I say this, if you have an idea or whatever it may be, just go and do it. I'm serious. You'll just feel way better as a person and for yourself. It makes you feel great. Even if like you fall flat on your face later on, just trust me, just start the thing, you know? What's up? Like I said, this podcast is just kind of be like a welcome episode, kind of like I did with the YouTube one. So yeah, just gonna kind of talk where I'm at in life, golf, how I'm gonna format this kind of thing, and just moving forward on what the podcast will entail, and kind of like what the YouTube channel will entail, and some great apparel stuff, hopefully coming soon. Can't really speak too much on that yet because everything's still in the works, but it is moving forward, and it's moving forward with a really good head of steam, honestly. This episode came out a little bit later than I wanted to do. So I wanted to put out the YouTube episode and then the podcast episode in the same week, and that will become a thing. But at least this week, just got busy with life. And speaking of where I'm at in life, living over here on about 30 minutes west of Nashville. We just bought a house out here, so that's super exciting. Me and my fiance, soon to be wife, and our 7-month-old in a few days, baby boy Brooks. So yeah, it's going great. What else about life? Starting this, obviously, it's kind of a big thing in life to start something that you're super passionate about, and it's very exciting, and it's great to have people around you. Like I said about starting something, like having people around you that, number one, will like really help you in any type of form they can, and then also people that are just super encouraging, like my fiance or something like that. Like it makes the world a difference. If you have a friend or something like that has something that they want to start, just like encourage them, because like that's the best thing you can do, like off the bat. So yeah, that's kind of it about like life stuff. As for the podcast and the apparel stuff and the YouTube stuff, I'm gonna keep it pretty consistent and do, like I said, weekly episodes of each, and then obviously the apparel will come when I get that sorted. But like I said, it's going super well, and should be out soon enough. I just have to, cross some T's, dot some I's kind of thing, get things squared away so everything runs super smooth. And then, let's see what else. Kind of going into my golf story. I started when I was pretty young. So, let's see. I started, I don't remember the age, but I had to be pretty young. I'm sure I should have researched this or asked my mom what age I would go to the range with my cousins, because that's where I started learning for real. But obviously before that, my dad played some like for fun, so he obviously taught me how to swing and stuff. But I'm left-handed, or at least I play left-handed, so always a little bit different trying to teach golf and stuff left-handed. So I'm sure it wasn't the easiest task for my dad or my cousin who kind of helped me. So yeah, that's kind of where I started to learn how to swing, super young age, playing with like toy golf stuff. And then my cousin Adam actually played golf in college, so my parents set up lessons, kind of like lessons, I guess, more so guidance and lessons. I have vague memories of it, playing with him and hitting at the range at Summit Chase there in Snellville. But yeah, that's kind of like where I started with golf. And then I did play like a tournament or something. I think it was in Jekyll Island when I was super young, and it did not go well. I mean, I was not the best at all. I've never been the best, so it's just the way it went. And I'm pretty sure we have a video of me of my brother filming me with like a VHS camera, obviously. And he asked like, "Hey, how'd you do today?" or something like that on the course. And I was just like, came dead last. So, and I'm pretty sure I did. If I would have said that, I probably actually did. I was probably super young when I did that. But yeah, I played in high school. Going forward after I kind of got burnt out, and then randomly in high school started playing more. And then I played on the high school team for like 3 years. That was a lot of fun. I by no means was very good at all, but it was a good time. Got to play golf like every day during the season, at least 9 holes, so can't complain there. And then, so then after high school, I only played those 3 years. I didn't play my senior year of high school just because I kind of got burned out with it, and I was just kind of, I wasn't the best, and it was still fun, but a lot of my friends also didn't play, so I wanted to hang out with them during the season, and they weren't on the team, so decided not to do it. After high school, basically, obviously you play with your friends in college after a while, and I think that's when my like love really started to grow back again for golf, and like as of recently, in the past few years, playing like with my friends and being able to bet and just have a good time on the course kind of brought back my love for it. And that's kind of like, I've had a roller coaster relationship with golf so far, but I think I'm at the age to where it's kind of like, yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? This is the thing that's awesome and that I love, and I love meaning behind it and playing it, everything. So yeah, that's kind of like my golf story in a nutshell, and it kind of led me to here, basically. Started watching a bunch of YouTube videos of golf stuff, a lot of like travel golf, like destinations, super filmmaking type guys like Eric Lang on YouTube. If you have not watched him, you definitely should. He makes the game really fun, and a lot of my inspiration, as well as other YouTubers and stuff like that. Not even so much golf, but just like being able to put out your own content is super exciting and inspiring to be able to do that and do it so easily, and to have this free platform like YouTube or Apple Podcast or Spotify or whatever you're putting it on. It makes it just, I don't know, it's super enticing to me at least. And so I kind of wanted to start the thing. Wanted to name it Langston Golf because of my dad, and obviously his last name as well. And I was like, all right, I could do some kind of name or some kind of pun or whatever it might be, but I kind of wanted to keep it pretty simple. And then I wanted to say, like, this is the reason I'm naming it, because my dad made it fun for me. Like he would do mini games within games, like even with other sports, like basketball or something. Like he would do this thing where you stand at the free throw line or the 3-point line or whatever you want to do. You take your shot, and if you miss it, it hits the rim or whatever, bounces twice, and you have to run to that ball before it bounces a third time. And wherever you catch it after that second bounce, that's where you got to shoot it from again. And then you do the same, obviously, if you miss it. And if you make it, you go back to the free throw line, and you go to a certain amount of points or whatever. And it's just like a game you can play with yourself, honestly, when your brothers don't want to play with you. And he kind of did that for golf, too, like mini games and stuff like that. It's like games within a game. And to me, like, that was a fun thing to do. And he just it's like he made playing it even more fun than it already was. And so I just kind of wanted to harken back to him and stuff like that. And that's kind of why I wanted to name it Langston Golf. So yeah, that's kind of how it got its name. And just like looking at all the content being put out by so many people, like it's so easy, like I said, to just, you have all these free platforms you can go to and stuff like that. And I think we'll really, I don't remember who said it, but we're really going to like look back on this time period, like just in human history, and be like, oh man, like how we look at the Renaissance time period now, like with all the art and everything exploding like that. Like we're going to look back in human history and see all this content just exploding and stuff like that. It's just an overflow of like ideas and content being put out into the world because like the internet and everything being so free to do and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to jump on the bandwagon too and just be a part of it. After wanting to for so long, just kind of getting out and just doing it. So that's where the whole idea kind of sprung out of. Thought of it as a YouTube idea first. Always wanted to do a podcast, so that kind of came with it. Figured they could go hand in hand, especially when playing with people I do the podcast with, being able to intercut that with shots for YouTube and intercut their audio from the podcast. Figured it could be pretty cool. And then I kind of wanted to do the brand part because the brand, who hasn't wanted to start their own brand? I'm sure there's some people that haven't, but I feel like a lot of people have, and I think being able to put a logo on something and kind of make something your own to signify what you're doing, and for me, it's kind of like growing the game of golf in a positive and fun way through this content, and hopefully great YouTube videos and hopefully great podcasts with interesting people or just fun people. To show that the game isn't just for like old men, to be honest, and to take away that stigma of it, and with a cool brand to be like, all right, it doesn't even look like a golf brand in a way, but there are elements of golf branding on stuff, but even being able to be like, oh, I can wear that on the course and I can be comfortable in that and not wear it on the course. So that's kind of what I wanted to start too. And I think being comfortable is like, so for me, at least on the golf course, and I just have a feeling like this would go for a lot of other people. Like if you're comfortable, you're more confident. And for me, like golf is super mental and being confident about a shot or being confident you can pull something off. And if you're taking it serious in that way, but just in general, like if you're comfortable, you feel more confident, in my opinion. So that's how I would want to be on the golf course. Like, relaxed, it makes you relax, comfortable, and then you can be like that on and off the course. And then that's just how kind of like the brand stuff really came up and into the whole process. And I'm super excited for it, and hopefully everybody else will be too, and everybody can rock their stuff and be able to really represent kind of what we're going to be doing on and off the golf course. And then before we go into how the podcast is going to kind of be framed out and what the bones are going to be, we're going to hear from a quick sponsor. All right, welcome back. And like I said, we're going to talk about how kind of the podcast is going to be kind of framed out and the bones, at least, of it. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of like talking to the person or whoever it may be. They can range from an interesting person to probably just one of my friends, or maybe an interesting person that is my friend, hopefully. And basically, it's going to kind of be laid out by like 4 or 5 questions, which I have mostly laid out, and they can vary a little bit, or I might throw a different one in there. But right now, it's going to kind of be like, what's your first memory of golf, and what time, and then like, what was your first time actually playing the game of golf? Because I guess those can be 2 different things. Kind of counts as 2 questions in a way. But your first memory of golf, like mine, is watching it on the TV with my dad, and very vividly going over to my cousin's house, who gave me those lessons way back when. They always had golf on when we went over for like birthdays or Easter or whatever it might be on their side of the family, or on their side of the family with them. And it would always be on like a Sunday, so it would always see the ending of tournaments and stuff like that there. So that would be like my first memory for sure. And because I don't have like a super vivid memory before that, but I know I would have been at least exposed to it before that. And the first time playing, probably when I was with my dad. I have a memory of playing in Hilton Head one time. So, and then I have a memory at hitting at a driving range in Grayson. So I think that would have been before playing in Hilton Head, in Grayson, Georgia. Sorry. We had this super super old driving range that a long time ago had a putt course too, and then they changed it to a chipping green. But yeah, that would probably be my first time even playing or swinging, I guess, a club. And then the next question is going to be like, what's your greatest feeling on the course, or just like, what's your greatest thing you love about golf, or even or whatever it may be. Like, is it making a flush like iron shot, like hitting a flush iron shot off the fairway or wherever, or is it like sinking a long putt? It can be so many different things, and I think it could be interesting to hear everybody's answers. Me, I think it would be, I think I have a toss-up with this one, but I think it would be like sticking it on the green from like 150, 160 out or something like that, maybe 180 or so, maybe tops. Just hitting an iron shot more than 100 yards, smacking it on the green, close to the pin, like that. That's one of my top. That's probably my top thing, because especially when how far away you are, but you know that ball is so close because it looks so close from that far away. Like, it makes it. I don't know. If I hit that shot, it makes the day for me, honestly. And then the next question is going to kind of be, if you could implement like one thing into golf in the near future or any future, what would it be? So an example would be like, would you have a crazy one would be like, would you have walkout music, kind of like they do in baseball, but for the first tee of a tournament or something like that? That one would be pretty crazy. I think I've tossed this one up because there's so many things you could do, but I think miking up players for some tournaments could be pretty awesome, and being able to like hear what they say or what their caddy says with them. I think it would kind of help market players a little bit more too, and kind of help grow that side of the game, watching golf for sure. So that's kind of like the bones of the podcast so far. I might throw in one more question in there, either at the end or kind of in the middle, just to, if I feel like I need it. But hopefully the overall goal is to be able to talk to the guest, and hopefully the listener can hear from them and hear their golf experience and life experience and how golf relates to their life. And hopefully, the listener can relate to them and their struggles or their wins or whatever it might be. And that's kind of the overall goal, just for the Langston Golf in general, in my opinion, and my vision. And thanks to everyone who has like listened to this and listened to and watched the first YouTube video. I think I'm going to post this on YouTube too. I think I'll post YouTube the podcast on YouTube. I'm usually going to try to film it when I have guests, just so you can see the guests too. And I love cameras anyway, so I'm going to set it up either way, and so you can watch it on there as well. But if you're on the road or something, you can always listen on here, on wherever you like to get your podcast at. And thanks to everyone who's reposted the first video or liked the video or subscribed to the channel. And you can subscribe to this channel for the podcast as well on your podcast app. And like, that goes a long way. And like making review and leaving a review for this podcast, or liking or sending a comment on YouTube, like that goes a long way too for feedback for me, and just in general how to help grow this little thing we got going. And hopefully we can do that together. If you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Langston Golf. For constant updates on like content and the brand launching, obviously, very, very soon. And thank you just again for the support, and hopefully this podcast can grow and be a fun thing to be able to listen to about the game of golf. I think that's it for me. Until the next one, I will talk to you later. Bye.